Alright guys, here we go. We're going to be delving into Ozone 8 today. Is it a worthy contender? Do you need it? Is it just another plugin, mastering plugin in the swamp of plugins? Who knows? Who will ever... Just kidding. Alright, let's just, sorry. Just, yeah. You only knew. Alright guys, so here we have it, Ozone 8 on the screen. As you can see, I've literally just opened it up here and it defaults to having one EQ, one dynamics and one maximizer little plugin into the GUI here. If you've used previous versions of Ozone, you will know that especially in Ozone 7 you are able to add I think actually from Ozone 6 you're able to add various additional effects and then you could play with the sounds. But in Ozone 8 here they've freshened up the look a little bit different. I do believe in Ozone 7 you could actually mix the chain as well. As you can see, I can move the exciter around through the equalizer, dynamics, maximizer, so forth. So that's a really cool, just a cool little nifty feature that is available on Ozone, of course. So what I want to show you today is, do you really need Ozone 8? Is it just a limiter and a maximizer and an EQ? And an exciter and whatever else it has dynamics, or can you just do that with other plugins? Well, that is the big question. That's what I want to find out today. So let's have a listen to Ozone 8 and how it actually sounds. So first what I want to do is I want to show you, I have just a little track I'm working on here, so let's have a listen to that. Just a really quick sample of how that track sounds. Now, with the very basic default setup of Ozone 8, which has an equalizer, dynamics and maximizer, let's have a listen just with that alone, how it actually sounds. So we'll turn on the Ozone 8 here, and let's have a listen to it. Here we go. Alright, already sounded pretty big. It even sounded like it almost enhanced the width, which is interesting because I don't have any stereo widening going on inside Ozone 8, which is quite fascinating. So what we'll do is we'll again, I'll just play it back without. And this is literally, I've not got a preset on. As far as I know, it's just a default preset. So let's just bypass it again here. Alright, so that's with Ozone 8 off, and we'll listen again with it on. Alright, yeah, it's definitely made it sound bigger. I've got the maximizer open here. I haven't actually adjusted or done anything here. So let's go through the presets. Let's see what this bad boy can actually do. So we click on presets. We have a few options here. We've got all-purpose mastering. We've got genre-specific mastering. We've got instrument and buses. And we've got signature presets, which is obviously artist series, which I've only got one here, which is Greg Calabi mastering presets. We'll look at those. But I think initially let's look at all-purpose mastering. So let's look at the differences here. I'm going to go through them and you can just have a listen. We'll see which one actually sits nicely. And then we'll look at some of the different effects that we can add and mess around with, okay? So here we go. This is going through the presets with Ozone 8, not bypass, sorry. It's on at the moment. And I'll just make sure we can see the plugins on. All right, here we go, guys. preset really boosted everything. Boosted the bass, boosted the treble, boosted the mid. Just absolutely emphasized everything. That's depth and clarity. Probably my favorite though out of all of those was the added warmth one. I don't know if you can see it on the screen. Hopefully you can. Just play that one back again. Sort of gave it a pretty gentle, subtle overall mastering and mix. I think for this track that I'm working on, I am going for a bit more of a retro sound, so that actually works really well. So let's have a look. We'll just keep going through, so we're down at depth and clarity. Next up we have emphasis on bass. I really like the enhancing on the stereo image as well. Some amazing presets here. You could literally sit here for hours going through how you want your master, how you want the end result to actually sound. But at the end of the day, as long as it sounds good across as many mediums as possible and it has the sound, the flavor that you want, you can pretty much get it from Ozone 8. This is what I'm discovering here, is that you can get the sound that you want from this plugin very easily. Yes, sure, you could have EQs, you could have dynamics, you could have maximizers, you could have all sorts of other plugins from other developers, and you could achieve the same results with a lot of tweaking and fumbling around. Great thing about Ozone 8 is you can do it all in the box very easily and very quickly. The extra thing I wanted to show you on Ozone 8 is an incredible plugin actually, is now we have Master Assist, which is actually integrated into the software. If you remember, iZotope actually released the Assistant plugin with Neutron and Neutron Advanced. I've done a video on it, check out the video here. Yeah, previous versions were able to evaluate your mix and actually do a master or mix for you. This is all in the box included in Ozone 8 now, so I wanted to show you that. So actually, if we do Master Assist, we're ready, it's going to listen to my track and then it's going to evaluate it and then it's going to suggest what would actually sound nice for this. So we'll just press that there. And then it asks me here, what are we going for? Streaming CD reference. We'll do streaming. Hit next, and now it's waiting for me to play the audio. As soon as I play the audio, it's going to evaluate and it's going to adjust accordingly. So let's have a listen to that. Very nice, very subtle, very gentle, but easily listenable as a mix or a mastering effort actually. It's unbelievable. Ozone 8. I've been using Ozone since its incarnation, Ozone 4, and I've been using Ozone since Ozone 4, and it's always been a go-to plugin for me. I think I've used it on just about every track on the master channel. But now with this latest update, it's just unreal, like the amount of flexibility, the amount of options you have to get a really good sound. It's all available here. We haven't even delved into all the different little effects and options you can add. Let's have a quick look though, and we'll do that right now. So we're gonna go off, this is what Master Assistant has suggested for me. So it's suggested this EQ here. We just got a bit of a drop off on the high end. There's a slight notch here in the mid range and a slight notch on the bass. So I actually prefer my mix a little bit brighter, so I've just increased the notch one there just to overall give me some more high end. For some reason the dynamics turn off. We'll turn it on to see. Not bad. I've just also squished a little bit of the mid-range and the low end there just to give it a bit more of an enhancement, or a bit more flattening, should I say, in the mix, because I want to be able to boost it with the maximizer. We jump over the dynamic EQ. It's created these notches here, not sure why, maybe there's some clashing. That's what Master Assistance is good at, recognizing EQs which are clashing with each other and then dissecting them out of the mix. So I'm guessing that's why it's included these notches here. Yeah, amazingly, when I played with those notches, I could actually hear very minute clashing of frequencies. Lastly, of course, you have a maximizer, which is your limiter. If we have a look at that one there, there's a bit more headroom. It's allowed me a bit more headroom, perhaps because it doesn't want me to totally smash out a really loud mix. But you could, if you wanted to, play with this until you get a super loud mix if that was your thing. But I don't need that for this, and especially if I was using this for streaming purposes only, you don't need a ridiculously loud mix. Lastly, let's just cover, there's so many features in here, but lastly, let's have a look here. I just wanted to go over what actually you get feature-wise in terms of effects. So you got a vintage EQ, you have vintage tape, you've got an exciter. We haven't even got an exciter on this chain. You've got vintage compression, which is great. You've got your spectral slapper, you've got imager, you got a post EQ, and you got a vintage limiter. Now the vintage stuff is great. I mean, it's always been fantastic since Ozone 7. And again, it just gives it a warmer sort of sound, you know. If you wanted to make it so it sounded like your mix was going through a bunch of tubes, then you could use this on the post EQ with a vintage EQ like I've done here. Gives it a real warm, really nice sound. Alright guys, that's all we've got time for in Emlyn in the Mix, unfortunately, because as you can see, Ozone 8 is an incredible plugin. Even if they have Ozone 7, Ozone 6, it's a worthy upgrade. I know that it looks very similar to Ozone 7. They have changed the GUI slightly, but you get extra presets which sound amazing. The sound sounds better in my opinion, and you just got more options all around. Anyway, thanks for watching Emlyn in the Mix. Definitely subscribe to the channel, like the video, and we'll be back for more audio reviews and music. And I've got a very special something coming up for you shortly. Definitely stay tuned for that. Alright, peace out guys, boom.